Well, I'm Representative Roger Barrus. You can all breathe a sigh of relief. Other than the governor's concluding remarks, I'm the last one to speak. You know, I wanted to frame my remarks today, first of all, by again thanking all of you who are here. And as Representative Ivory said, we are standing on the shoulders of giants. There are many who have come before us, and we are trying to complete the work which has come before us. I appreciate our federal delegation for their willingness to engage in this, and because they feel the same way that we do. They are Utahns as well. There is something, though, that's been on my mind recently that I just wanted to talk about briefly, and that's some of the rhetoric that I hear from time to time from those who say, well, Utahns can't manage that land, or you're just going to get it and sell it off to your corporate cronies. You know, nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, I want to know the last time that you ever heard that the words of the federal government and good management were used together. And so Utah definitely has a track record in which we have good management practices, and we are certainly up to the challenge of governing our public lands. Let me tell you a couple of other things why I'm concerned. We've heard today about the importance of the state of Utah having the ability, the freedom, the sovereignty to chart its own course, the ability to pay for the education of our children and our economy and our citizens. But you know, there's some other things that I'm quite concerned about. Frankly, I'm worried about the way the federal government is managing the states, or the public lands in our states. You know, federal lands are under a different regulatory scheme than private lands and state lands. They have a heavily burdened bureaucracy and regulatory scheme that they have to go through whenever anything is done. And because of that, these are some of the things that I'm worried about. I'm worried about the increasing restrictions of access to our lands for recreation and for tourism. I'm worried about the closure of roads when federal authorities stand there at those roads with signs and say, you can no longer go to places where Utahns and our visitors from around the nation have gone for decades. I'm worried about the infestation of invasive species, plant species, that are decimating our agricultural lands and our watersheds. And I'm worried about our languishing forests and that have fallen victim to catastrophic fires and beetle infestation. I'm worried about the increasing restrictions on the ability to use the natural resources in which our state has been blessed, that will not only feed our families but fuel our economy. And I really am worried about the impact that the federal debt will have on the future of public lands. The out-of-control spending of our federal government and the increasing federal debt, there is going to be fewer and fewer dollars that will be available to maintain and manage these public lands. Now Utah, let's think of Utah. We are considered the best managed state in the nation. We still have a AAA bond rating. I think that's a little better than the federal government. We also are considered one of the best places in the country to grow a business, to raise a family. Think about in 2002 when Utah welcomed the world to the Olympics and how successful that was because of the way that Utahns came together and helped to manage and have such a great Olympic event. And finally, Utah has a regulatory structure already in place with which we regulate and manage our state public lands and our school and institutional trust lands. It's a very successful management process, and it has a proven track record. So why would not Utah be very capable, in fact more capable than our federal landlord, in managing these lands that we love, that we treasure? And that is one of the reasons that we are taking the initiative as the state of Utah to manage these lands, and we're up to the challenge, and we are looking forward to this conversation that we're going to have with the federal government in making that transfer of title and management to these lands. Thank you very much.